super dry. The side of the van is, oh, I was gonna say a mess, but it's wet. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is actually a day just inside of the city. Just cruising around doing a few things. The first chore that I have is I actually need to add some oil to the van. So I got to find a parking lot right up here. I just picked up oil at Canadian Tire. I got a funnel and stuff, so I'm gonna have to add some oil. I did check it about 20 minutes ago and it is rather low from the road trip that I just got back home from. So we're gonna go put some oil in the van at a parking lot, and I do want to get a jog in today because it is super hot and sunny, and why not go for a jog? So I'm actually gonna head down to a park and hopefully be able to jog a few laps around a spot there. And then I have a tent, a brand new tent in the back of the van that I would really like to go and set up. So I'm gonna find maybe, I don't know, maybe like a school playground area, like a field where school is no longer in. We can probably utilize a sports field and set up a tent for the very first time, very quickly. And from there, I don't know, we'll see what happens after that. All right, guys, just found a pretty decent parking spot. It is on level ground, which is important for this. I did just pick up 2 jugs of oil, full synthetic, 530, because that's what my van likes to drink. So I'm gonna get the funnel out, pop the hood, get that put in there, and I'm actually parked right across from this little track that goes across the street to the Commons Park, pretty much. So I'll be able to throw on some jogging shoes and basically just head right over there, do a couple laps, and then head back to the van and take the day from there. So let's get this oil topped up. All right, so just finished topping up the van with oil. It's looking pretty good right now. So, I slip on my running shoes right now. Get them on here. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm just gonna head across this field and kind of get right into the park. There's a nice oval jogging track over there, which is quite convenient. That way I don't have to cover a lot of ground and then make it back. I can just go around the loop as many times as I feel like. Today, probably a few times, and save my like push-ups and stuff like that for later on when it's cooler. I don't like working out a whole lot when it's really hot out. I get my shoe on. But going for a run is always nice, and then save the other stuff for later on when it's cooler in the evening. So I'm going to leave my phone here. I'm going to lock this up and a few other things, and yeah, let's get over to that field. All right, super hot and sunny out today. Just making my way down to the street I got to cross, and then we're basically in the park and gonna be able to jog there for a little bit. It doesn't look terribly busy, which is nice this time of day. It's around noon, so not horrible. Early in the morning and late in the evening, and early in the evening, and it's actually quite busy down here. So kind of that sweet spot right now, lunchtime, where it's not terrible. Most people are at the sports field, not on the actual running track, so might be able to luck in, get in here and get out pretty quick. All right, it's actually kind of busy down here. Not terribly busy. Looks like they're doing some like aerobics kind of classes way over here with the loud megaphone. The oval's open, so there's a lot of children around here with their bikes and stuff. Not terrible. Yeah, we'll get a few laps in here. It is getting really warm out, so want to get this done before it's way too hot. And then, yeah, like I said, we'll go back to the van, get a drink, and find a spot to set that tent up. Super dry. 5 laps around that loop. No water, no drink. Let's get back to the van and get hydrated. All right, back in the van. Got the AC on right now, it's just airing out a little bit. Whew, 5 laps around that ring. Plus I did 3 laps, and then I left the ring, the little oval, walked around the bus stop on Main Street there, around the sidewalk, in through the field, and then back on that oval for 2 more laps, and then all the way back here. Definitely need a drink. Dragon fruit Red Bull. I don't drink Red Bull, so this is interesting. Dragon fruit, give this one a go. I bought these because they're smaller cans, so it's easier for me to drink rather than being tempted by drinking an entire can and then feeling bloated and nasty and all the sugar and all that crap in there. Oh, it's actually good. Dragon fruit. It's actually really good. Artificially flavored, of course. So from here, I gotta find my phone, check my messages here. Looks like I got a text and a message. Go through this real quick, and then bump on my GPS. And I do have an idea of where there's actually, I was thinking about it when I was jogging, a field that I went to before and set up a brand new tent. It's actually a sporting field for the community, so it's not, it doesn't have anything to do with a school or anything. So we'll head up to that and check that out. I'm just gonna go through this real quick, and yeah, and then we'll be on the road, and we'll get out there. Hopefully the field will be empty and we'll be able to set that tent up, because I'm super excited for that. All right, guys, just arrived at this little sports field, and I don't know what I was thinking earlier when I said school's out. It's not even the end of school season yet. I just kind of mentally jumped the gun a little bit there. So, story about this field. The last time I came here, I set up a very large inflatable tent for the first time, and this is a very nice community, and there were actually people from the community here at the park with their children, and there was another child, probably about 11 years old, maybe 12 years old, in the field playing by himself, just kicking a soccer ball, I believe. And I was with a friend, and we were out here setting up this tent, and this guy pulls in, and he comes over and he says, "Hey, is anyone in the tent?" And we were in there kind of like looking at the tent, setting it up, taking pictures, whatnot. First time, you know, first time setting it up, so we wanted to get a really good look at it. And he approaches us and he says, "What are you doing?" And we're like, "Well, we're setting up a tent. We're looking at it." And he goes, "You can't do that here." And we said, "Excuse me? What do you mean we can't do that here?" And he says, "It's a private park. There's supposed to be a lock on the gate. You're not supposed to be here." And we said, "Okay, well, who are you?" And he said that he worked for the municipality of the city in this area. So anyways, kind of, I didn't really fall for it. We were like, oh, well, we're getting out of here anyways. We're going to pack it up in a few minutes and whatnot. And then he gave us a little bit of attitude, kind of like, yeah, you might as well type thing, right? And that didn't fly. So we gave it right back to him. We asked, well, prove it. Like, you work for the town, whatever, right? Basically, he gave us no proof. And the conversation ended up with just saying, like, get out of here, man. Anyways, we continued doing what we were doing and shooed him off. This guy was like 50 years old, right? Not like a 20-year-old punk. This was like a grown man acting like he had some sort of authority. Anyways, that happened. And then he went over to this 11-year-old boy and told him to get out of the field as well because he's not supposed to be there. He kicked a child out of a field, playing by himself, kicked him out of the field. So anyways, he left, and we got photos of his truck and whatnot. He's just pulling away. Nothing happened, of course, because the guy was actually lying. We ended up calling the city and asked how they deal with that, and they were like, no, absolutely not. No one of our employees would ever do that. They would approach an unmarked vehicle, and they'd have to show their paperwork proving. Anyway, so the guy was total phony. We believe he was a guy from the community, and I think what he was thinking is we were setting up a tent to, like, live there because there's a lot of people that live in tents in the city. But we explained, I said, no, I work for businesses, I take pictures of tents, I do this and that. He goes, oh, you can't do that here. I was like, okay, buddy, I'm going to anyways. So anyways, getting back on track here, there was a lady that approached us and she said, what happened? And we explained to her and she's like, and she's like in her 40s herself. And she said, we live right here. We come down here with our children all the time. There's always people in the field playing, unless there's a scheduled sporting event, which there was not. So anyways, hopefully I don't get too much static out here today because I am definitely amped up and ready to dish it right back. So I'll get Boomer out just for a little. I'm not going to let him in the field because no pets are allowed in the field. The gate is unlocked. I did check that. The closing time, I believe, is like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. So I'll let Boomer out on the side to do his business, and then I'll get the tent out of the truck, and hopefully we don't get bothered. So there's a quick look at the park sign, if you guys want to pause that and have a read at the rules. And there's also a parked closed, no entry up there. I can't read the hours, but it's well past the hours that I'm here right now. So I believe we got till like 10 o'clock p.m. Not worried about it, like I said. Here's Boomer. Gonna go take a pee. Not allowed in there. So keep him out of the sports field. Now I did have to cram on the brakes rather abruptly because I wasn't paying attention to the turn. And the inside of the van is, I was going to say a mess, but it's wet because I actually put a bowl of water up on top of the table for Boomer just in case he needed a drink while I was jogging. Take a look at this. All right, so coming in the van, get some light on here so you guys can see all of this. Oh, wow. That's still full. That's hilarious. So I filled this bowl while I went jogging. And as you guys can see here in the sunlight, it is pretty much full. I just drove all the way through the city over bumps and slammed on the brakes right here and I'm still full. Like half full in each bowl. Oh, that's not too bad then. I'm going to set that back in the van once I grab that out of there. Open this door up. And to grab that tent out of there, you guys can probably already see it says RBM Outdoors. You guys probably know what's up. So let me get that out and get it in the field. Get your water. Here. That slamming on the brakes really messed up the home. You never really notice how bad your home will get messed up when you cram on the brakes and everything just goes everywhere. So I'm gonna get this buttoned up. I'm gonna roll all the windows down, let Boomer in there. That way he's not running around out here. I might have a leash where I can actually leash him to the van so he can at least lay in the ground maybe and not be outside. So I'm gonna try and find that. All right, so I looked all over. I cannot find his leash anywheres. To be totally fair, I really never put Boomer on a leash. He's kind of a free-range dog, you know. Just checking in the door here. I did have it recently, but I don't know where it is now, which obviously doesn't help us. So I guess he's just gonna chill out inside the van right now. I have all the windows open. He's got water in there. He's not hot. He's actually just laying down, but I kind of wanted him to maybe be a part of this. So I'm gonna drag his box into the field. I'm gonna rip it open out there, bring the box home, obviously, or at least somewhere where I could drop it off and not leave it in the field. So I'm gonna drag that out there. Probably need a knife too to cut some of the strapping, and let's get this thing set up in a hurry. All right, so just got it out of the box. There's something else in the box, something that I don't know why it's in there, but I'm going to show you what it is. Check this out. That is multi-purpose paper. Literally. An entire pack of printer paper. Why? I have no idea. I don't know why they packed that. So this is from RBM Outdoors. This is the Up 2. On my other channel, Lone Wolf 902, I did have a similar tent to this. This is the Up 2 regular. So I believe the other tent that I had was maybe an Up 2 a little bit of a larger version. I did come into contact with the company again because they asked if I was interested in a large hexagon tent. There is a story with that tent because apparently I have it, but I just don't know I have it. There's a major video coming soon, guys, soon, a huge update on both channels. I think you know what I'm talking about. Big video, all kinds of things for everyone to see. The point that I'm trying to get at is I personally do not have that tent. So RBM heard my story and they felt really bad for me, so they ended up sending me out the tent again. So like I said, this is not the same as the 2-Up. I think the 2-Up that I had before, I have to look on their website, but it was a bigger model. This is a smaller 2-Up person tent, and the reason why I wanted this one and not the same one that I had before, this is more portable to pack. So it's about 4 feet long in length in the bag. The other one that I had was about 6 to 7 feet packed in the bag. So this is perfect for van life or traveling with a Jeep or whatever. Very nice. So like I said, huge story update coming, massive video. Stay tuned for that. Probably, I don't know, in a couple months, we'll see. But anyways, I want to unzip this, get it set up, and we're gonna have a look at it. All right, so right away I can see the quality is nothing short of what they're known for. Everything, the bag, the zippers, the attention to detail on everything is incredible. So it looks like we've got, not sure what this is. I think it's the hammer. Oh, cool. Oh, a very nice hammer. Oh, it's a multi-tool hammer, sweet. It's actually a multi-tool hammer for driving the tent pegs. It's got a saw, it's got a knife. I'll show you guys a closer look at this in a little bit, but this is actually pretty awesome. Wow, okay. Nice little added bonus there. I did not know that was coming. I'll pop that there. Okay, bag of pegs. This is the man door, so it actually comes with like a man door that opens like on a hinge, or you can just unzip the door and walk in. So that's everything there. It is a little breezy and windy today, so hopefully this doesn't blow away before I get the pegs in the ground. First time setting up, so I have no idea what that's going to look like. But yeah, it should be fairly simple. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a couple pegs in the ground just before I set it up, because if a big gust of wind comes along, it's probably going to rip that tent right across the field. As you guys can see, the camera's moving right now. It's sitting on top of that box. So that's the wind right now, rocking just that box. Oh, these are super, oh, awesome. They supplied ice anchors. So these red-handled screws, or these pegs, are actual screws that screw into the ice of a frozen lake. That is something cool, because they did not include that in the last tent, I don't believe. As well as regular, these look like 1/4-inch rebar pegs. So I'm going to put 4 in the ground just to hold it down, and then I'm going to set up the actual tent. All right, so I've got 4 pegs put in. This being an easy up tent, it should not shrink when it's basically erect. That sounds dirty. Okay, what I mean is teepees, when you peg them out, when you put the center pole in, usually the diameter shrinks a little bit because now you're making the tent taller, so it tends to shrink in. This being an easy up tent, it has a metal pole skeleton. I know you guys probably can't make that out, but there is a metal skeleton, which means when the center pole goes up, the outer circumference should stay the same. It shouldn't shrink at all. So I've got 4 pegs in there, which means it won't pull on the fabric because it's anchored to the ground. So I'm going to go inside, pop that center piece up, and that should give us a good look at the outside of the tent. Pretty awesome. So the whole structure of this tent is basically a giant umbrella. You literally push the pole up just like an umbrella. Then you can unthread it and remove the center pole. I'll show that to you right now. All right, so coming inside of the tent, you guys will notice it's a little bit saggy. So it didn't shrink. I just didn't peg it out tight enough. So that's good. Some tents will actually shrink and pull on those guy outs. That one's pulled, that's loose, loose, loose. So we'll go around and snug it up, but it did not shrink. 2 doors. So we got a fabric door. Coming inside, we got vents up here. This is a double wall tent. So there is a wall, and then you can actually unzip to the outside, and this entire window will open up. So it is a true double wall tent, meaning you can actually zip that bug net up, zip that up. So there's 1 window, screen, 2 window, and then Velcro. So it is like built to last a lifetime with a kickstand vent. I remember the first tent RBM has sent me, I was blown away by the quality, and I'm still blown away because this is incredible. Pockets everywhere, guys. Pocket there, built-in stove jack right up here, which is actually removable from the wall. It's on there with Velcro. We've got the stove jack opening, double skin, because there's 1 wall and then another wall. So there's actually 2 layers of stove jack, which I've never seen on any other tents on the market. Another door, another vent, tons of hooks up here for gear storage, and this center pole. So basically, we unthread this once the tent is totally set up. doing this with one hand, so it's a little tricky. Keeping it lined up so the threads kind of come out easily. And there's the center pole, leaving the tent totally set up. So we got all this livable room, and then we can just toss this down on the ground because today we're not using the wood stove. They did send me another wood stove because that is also not in my possession right now, as well as another floor that goes outside underneath of the tent. This floor is fully unzippable. I don't know if you guys can see that zipper track went all the way around, so you can actually take out the camouflage floor if you don't want it there. And again with the doors, so we have a solid panel door all the way down, and then we've got a bug net door, which is screened, but it's camouflage screen, so it's really cool. So if you're outside looking in and you're hunting with this, this is actually camouflage. And then a solid panel to really block out any kind of thermal loss. I'm gonna unzip these right now because it is smoking hot out here today. Do that, and then like I said, there is another door which I'll set up for you guys so you guys can see. And basically, that door is a solid door that opens like a hinge, so you can actually open it and then close it. We'll put that on the other side because right now the wind's coming in this way. It's got a really nice elastic material here that really snaps around the door to block any blowing snow. Tent is incredible. Absolutely highly recommend RBM Outdoors. Ever since I received their first tent probably over a year ago, totally stoked on it. So I'm gonna set the camera down for a few minutes. I'm gonna go around the tent, get all the pegs in. I'm not gonna put the guy lines on today, but there are a ton of guy out points on the corners and on the flat walls as well to really maximize the gap between the single wall and the rain fly to really get some good ventilation and no condensation. So like I said, no wood stove today, but I'm going to get everything pitched out really nice and tight, and then we'll go back inside and take another look. All right, so I've got the tent tensioned down, everything added interior wise for the extra pockets, the overhead gear loft, all that stuff. They even include these vinyl windows, which is really awesome. So they're pre-cut and they've got Velcro on them. Basically, they go up right where these vents are, right in here. So this entire panel can actually Velcro off. There's a large weather seal over top of it. So you could turn that entire location into a clear window and then let a lot of sunlight in, which could be beneficial in the winter months. I mean, if you're stuck in a tent and you know it's windy out but it's still sunny, the sunlight can go inside the tent to give you the feeling that you're not being trapped inside the tent. So that's pretty awesome. There's a lot going on there. So there are 2 vinyl windows. I just want to go through this bag really quick though, because there is a ton of extras with the guy line. So take a look at this. All right, so I'm not going to open it up, but there's a big bag here full of these super bright, very nice guy lines, super bright orange, all kinds of them in there. And then there is a rubber patch here, which is for the green rubber material, which corresponds with the bag. There is a extra buckle there, so if any of the buckles snap, there's buckles. There is replacement patches for every single piece of fabric, including the camouflage bug screen, the white mesh, any kind of material on this tent. There are huge swatches to patch it. There's also a box of this, it looks like rubber cement. I'm guessing that's what that is. Yeah, all-purpose adhesive. It's in Russian, so can't really read that. But yeah, everything in that bag that is needed to repair the tent and to guy it out is right there. Again, this massive bag full of all, there's a lot more pegs in there as well. I didn't guy out, I only guyed out the corners. I didn't guy out the in-betweens. And the tent's already super tight, so I just went to the actual corners. All the guy out points are reflective. So there's 1 on each corner plus 1 on each flat wall. So there's another corner, another flat wall. There are guy lines in here for everything, as well as this bag with the hammer. So I'll give you guys a close look at this right now. I'm not going to go into detail about it or anything because it's not actually from RBM. I think they just included it as like a little freebie gift. So there's a knife. It's actually very, 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 very sharp. Wow. There's a hook, which is what I would imagine. I'm just going to tuck that knife back in there, which I would imagine is for pulling the pegs out of the ground. There is a multi-tool with wrenches, bottle opener, a little bit of a sharp edge there for can opener as well. And then this guy. This is a pretty decent saw blade. So, I mean, it's nothing major, you know, but definitely a little camp tool. Very, very useful. Got the claw on there too, little hammer. Great little tool. I'm actually quite surprised. I did not expect that one. So very happy with that. The bag is beautiful. You can drag that across the snow, put some firewood in it if you really wanted to. It's really tough and durable. But yeah, let's take a look inside of the tent. All right, so walking around, well actually I'll show you this before I walk around. This side of the tent is wide open. There goes my vinyl windows. Gonna grab those for those blow away. Tuck those inside the bag for now. So this side of the tent I left open with just all the doors unzipped, just the zip doors. I installed the actual swinging hinge door on the other side. I'll show you guys what it looks like inside first. So you guys can see 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel. This is the exterior panel. And then we've got this really interesting pressure fitted metal frame door that protrudes outside, and it's locked in with nothing but that bungee. So this little bungee material here locks it in, giving you access to outside, which is pretty awesome. And it goes on just with Velcro. So basically you just go up the whole thing, Velcro it on, and then you can open the door with the handle or not. The really tricky thing is when you open it, you've got to basically pull this weather seal over it like that when you're inside for the night. You basically just tuck that in there. This door is not required to use the tent. It's just a handy little feature for opening and closing if you want to do it that way. But honestly, coming over to this side of the tent, this is my preferred method of just going in through the zip doors. You guys will notice a huge gap between the inner tent and the outer tent. So it is a true double wall tent. Like there's a lot of breathability in there. All the hinge parts of the poles have got this really durable, like rubberized material, so it's not going to cut the fabric when the tent is folded. Really, really nice, guys. Super nice. So coming inside, I did hang one of these organizers, which is removable just by Velcro. And it's got a zipper here with like one of these vinyl windows. Another zipper in the vinyl window, and then 2 of these Velcro pockets here, which are quite deep. And then another zip pocket down here that opens up just like a solid panel. There's 2 of these. There's one here, which is, like I said, is removable, and then one hanging right there as well. They don't have to be used because there's pockets right behind it that are actually sewn in there and here. So these are really deep pockets. So up above, there's also, I hung a little bit of a gear basket here, and they put a hole in a grommet through here, so you can actually leave this on full time and just put the rod through there when it's time to actually collapse the tent, which is pretty awesome. And then I got one window still open, and like I said, the stove jack's up here. Give you guys another quick look at that. 2 metal rings to guide your stovepipe going through, and these are double wall, like I said. So there's a stove jack for the inner tent and a stove jack for the outer tent. So 2 stove jacks, 2 metal rings, incredible detail. So that is my new tent. That is the Up 2 from RBM Outdoors. That is Russian Bear Outdoors. I love it. What do you guys think? I mean, these things blew up on YouTube about 2 years ago when I first received mine, and they're holding down the fort, guys. Incredible. You can fit a cot inside of there, a large wood stove. They sent me the external floor and the wood stove. I still haven't unboxed the wood stove. If you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. I know it's summertime, but there's still areas up north that people are using stoves. And honestly, summertime is when people usually buy winter gear to get ready for the following season. I know it's weird, but that's what we do. So, camouflage tent, Up 2 from RBM Outdoors. I'm gonna pack this up. It's very simple, but it is getting windy, so I do want to get it down quickly. And there are people way over there staring at me, wondering if I'm setting shop up for the night. I'm gonna let them wonder for a few more minutes, see if they come over, check it out. If not, oh well. I'm gonna pack this up, get it thrown back into the cardboard box, because I'm actually gonna be bringing the box out of here. I'm gonna dump it off somewhere else, that little dumpster that actually allows me to dump cardboard. And that'll save up a little free space in the van rather than having 2 things the same size. I might as well put it back in the box. I will keep the printer paper though. It's freebie, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna get this packed up. I'll meet you guys back inside the van. So it probably weighs, I don't know, 50, 60 pounds. Not terribly heavy, but it's really awkward in the box. The bag itself has a ton of handles, which makes it really easy, but the box only has one handle on either end, making it pretty difficult to maneuver. Watch out, Boomer. Whew. All right, so Boomer's all done drinking that, and we are ready to get in the van, get the air conditioning on. It is hot, hot, hot out here. My legs are tired from jogging earlier, and I'm still covered in sweat, pretty gross, so I need a shower. Are you ready for the water? Are you ready for the water? Let's go find some water. Watch out. All right, so, try that again. All right, so, Boomer is in the back. I keep this door open, so he comes right up to here. Hi. And then I crank the AC on. Yes, we see you. So the reason why I do this is because he will jump up here on the fridge, jump in the seat, and then constantly claw at the door like he needs to get out or something. I don't know. But then if you roll the window down and open the door, he just sits there. So he has this knack of like jumping forward to back, forward to back, forward to back, bumping everything, of course, hitting the cords, hitting the phone, hitting the drinks, everything, destroys everything. So we put this door up when we drive from now on. He likes it. Once we start moving, he'll curl up on the bed. I know you guys can't see back there. It's pretty dark right now, but he's fine. AC on. And yeah, let's get this fired up here because it is roasting hot outside. Yes. Whew. All right, so oil is all topped up. I double checked that. We're good for oil. Get this plugged in, max AC on. I'm ready for water, man. So, I don't know. I might bring you guys along. I might not, but I'm kind of feeling the beach right now. So if the video ends here, then you guys will know I didn't bring you. If the video doesn't end here, well, then keep watching.